Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Wednesday, September 5th, 9:53 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You are looking at the European model of Hurricane Florence, midday Thursday, making landfall on the Delmarva Peninsula as a Cat 3 storm. And if we come over to the GFS model, it doesn't look any better, just a little south of Virginia Beach. And these models are going to be changing rapidly, but we'll be watching them and updating you every day as this deadly hurricane potentially makes landfall. As we predicted, the only major hurricane would be the Northeast, and it's looking like it may be that. Hurricane Florence upgraded to Cat 4 storm as Gordon moves inland. It is true, Florence, the first major storm of this year's Atlantic hurricane season, upgraded to Cat 4 Wednesday as forecasters warn it could be life-threatening to later this week. According to the National Hurricane Center, Florence's maximum sustained winds are estimated at 130 miles per hour. The storm is centered 1,295 miles east-southeast of Bermuda, is moving northwest at 13. Forecasters have said they expect Florence to weaken somewhat over the next couple of days. We showed you the most recent updates. Both models, GFS and European, showing Cat 2, Cat 3 storm making landfall midday on Tuesday. Here's the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale, and that would be a Cat 2-3 would be right between 110 and 11 miles per hour is the border. And we showed you two models, 110 in the GFS and 115 at the eye wall. This is coming from the National Hurricane Center. The current track of Florence moving from a major hurricane into moving from a hurricane to a major system by Monday, 8 p.m. And here we are Wednesday. Well, actually, landfall would be Thursday, next Thursday. My bad. So New Orleans has braced for severe flooding. Here's some pictures of what Gordon did when it made landfall as a tropical storm, not as a hurricane. Still significant. We are having some bandwidth issues here. New Orleans, which had braced for severe flooding, was unscathed as residents along the Mississippi Gulf Coast expected a serious hit were largely spared. Here's Steve Harrigan. He needs some Harrigan. Heads up. Totally. Are you prepared? We'll get to it. And that's a boom. Black screen boom. Come on. Oh, there he is. I love that guy. What a tool. That's a lithium ion battery, and that's an idiot. Well, that's fun to watch. Gordon never reached hurricane strength by the time it came ashore Tuesday night just west of Mississippi-Alabama line. Its maximum sustained winds, meager 70, knocking out power to 27,000. But we're going to talk about some power getting knocked out in a minute. Heavy rain and flooding from Gordon and a stalled front will continue for several days here in the Gulf Coast. Into Arkansas, the threat for heavy to excessive rains and flooding will continue through parts of the South and lower mid-Mississippi Valley for the next several days. Tropical Depression Gordon will continue to weaken as it moves into Arkansas, while the front will stall across the saturated Midwest. The combination of the two with tropical moisture will yield significant flood concerns. Click on your county or parish in the affected region. Check out that. All of Tennessee is yellow. And we have tons of warnings and watches on the coast here as the storm closes in. Over the next week, Florence is heading there. Hey, summer snowfall. Colorado town gets snow in early September. You won't hear from this guy in a suit. It is mid-September. It is summer. No, it's early September. Much of the country is still in the dog days of summer. One Colorado town has jumped a few seasons forward. This video was taken in Fair Play, showing the town covered in snowfall more than 100 days until winter begins. And it really just looks like a bunch of fat chicks and some dude in a suit. But whatever. They claim it's snow. Do you see it falling? No, we love our big people. Forecasters thrown for a loop as freezing weather descends. British weather is set to take a dramatic turn for the worse with plunging temperatures, severe fronts, torrential rain, gale force winds about to unleash an autumn of misery. Whew. This is a lithium-ion battery explosion experiment of misery right there. God, he's not prepared. But if you head over right now to My Patriot Supply, you can get the deal of the day. Check this out. 720 servings of coffee for $80 in a waterproof prepper tote. This is worth 20. Boom. Take that off. $60 for 700 servings. It's like 8 cents a cup for coffee that will sit on the shelf for 25 years and be tradable to anyone. Whew, you're going to miss this one, but check the deal of the day, man. It is always a good deal, and that's boom. Lithium-ion boom. Now, Britain's weather is set to take a dramatic turn for the worse, with plunging temperatures, severe fronts, torrential rain, gale force winds, unleashing autumn misery. Official forecasters have backtracked from earlier predictions, which suggested warm, settled conditions would hold out through the first half of September. Whew. Unfortunately, the GFS model is showing different. Look at the temperature anomaly in North Africa. We're going to be seeing unprecedented snows in the Sahara again. Whew. As the Greenland ice builds epically, and it is shooting up. Winters are brutal during a grand solar minimum, like they were during the Dalton and Maunder. Snow totals reach record highs. Temperatures remain at record lows for weeks on end as weather systems get locked in place by blocking highs. Someone's watching the channel. Whew. Did you hear? Coldest Melbourne morning in 15 years. Claire breaks 24-year cold record. The mercury in Melbourne, Victoria dipped to 3.4 C, 6:30 a.m. Tuesday, making it the city's coldest September temperature since 2003. As well as it being bitterly cold, Victoria has also experienced one of the driest years in more than a century, and a spring is unlikely to bring much relief. That is a kangaroo, and that is snow. The lowest temperatures ever recorded in the city was minus 5 C back in 1908. Dalton minimum much. The icy conditions just aren't affecting Victorians. Western Australians are also being advised to rug up as freezing temperatures hit the state. And in Clare, South Australia, the mercury dipped to a minimum of negative 1.4 C Tuesday, and the town's coldest spring temperature in 24 years. And that is a lithium-ion boom. Heads up to the roo. 151 dead or missing, tens of thousands displaced as major flood hits North Korea after unprecedented drought fluxes the region. Can you say cosmic rays? 76 people have been killed and 75 others remain missing after extreme heavy rain hits parts of North Korea at the end of August 2018. Major flooding continued into September now. It came after unprecedented drought hit the country July and August, forcing authorities to call on its people to wage an all-out battle against a record heat wave that hit hard already fragile crops. Heavy flooding was reported in Kangwon, South Hamgyong provinces after Tropical Storm Sol dumped extremely heavy rain on August 23rd. Muncheon was worst affected with 10 reported deaths, 60 people missing in both Muncheon and Kwan cities, over 58,000 people displaced. Canadian cabbage prices set to soar. European leek, cauliflower, and broccoli shortage. Can you say brassica bust? Cabbage growers in Quebec have warned of a price hike due to unusually warm and dry summers. Cabbage prices will definitely be higher this winter, said Alex Denvis, who is not lacto-fermenting whatsoever. We are 2018 UK weather extremes to send food prices skyrocketing. Everything for £1, or whatever that means. Wheat yields have plummeted 25%, while starchy foods such as potatoes, onions, and carrots are down 20%. The impact for vegetable growers is to be cushioned slightly by higher prices in the supermarkets, but with the cost of fuel and fertilizer on the rise, farmers are turning to the banks to keep their businesses ticking over. It's only going to get worse, kids. Earthquake buries homes under landslides in Hokkaido, Japan. 6.7 magnitude, causing massive landslides, loss of life. 2 dead, 33 missing, as another natural disaster has struck parts of Japan, continuing a summer of chaos that has seen the country's weather deadly floods, typhoons, earthquakes, landslides, heat waves, not to mention volcanoes going boom, which they didn't mention in the article. We all miss stuff. Dozens of people were injured in the quake, mostly in Sapporo. Let's check the map. We have massive aftershocks coming after a flurry of activity in the South Sandwich Islands. No other quakes of note except the multiple quakes in Japan, including the 6.6. Now, the antipode of the South Sandwich Islands is exactly Sapporo. Here's the antipode of the South Sandwich. The earthquakes were happening 120 kilometers south or north, and the antipode would be south. Sapporo, exactly the antipode of South Georgia on the other side of the planet. Just saying. Veniaminof Volcano alert level raised. The last eruption of this volcano took place in 2013. Cosmic gray flux exciting the muons in the subsurface and siliceous rich magmas, causing earthquakes to go boom across the globe. Just like that. The AVO has raised the aviation color code to orange in the volcano alert level. Watch for Veniaminof Volcano on September 4th. The decision to raise the alert was made after a sharp rise in seismic activity, as well as low-level ash emissions observed in web camera images confirmed by Perryville. There they are. Worldwide volcano news update. Semaru. Continuous intermittent volcanic ash with Popocatépetl, Tucono, Reventador, Sangay, Sakurajima, and others. Saku exploding within the last 24 hours. Adding to the atmospheric aerosols. Did you know Napoleon was defeated by volcanoes? So will the modern empire. Check out sunspot activity. Here's the mini ice age. Yes, there's the Maunder minimum. We're going into the eddy minimum, and Napoleon, there is his hand in his shirt. It's because he had heartburn. The theory that Napoleon lost at Waterloo is the result of weather because he delayed the use of his cannons. Yes, it was because a volcano caused it to be very cold. If you want to know more about the historical research that we and others have done on grand solar minimums and their effects, read this article. Year without a summer much. Are you prepared? Head on over. My Patriot Supply. Best deals on the web for your preparedness. 720 servings of Franklin's finest survival coffee. $84. Shucks. And that's a boom. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Share this with like-minded people. Keep coming back. We love it. Side note, I canceled the radio show. Really taxing my soul. But as we continue our preps here at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, we're going to be doing more informative videos like the lacto fermenting video and videos on how to build your own house and finish the job. And that's a boom. Be safe. We love each and every one of you.